Authentications are back.
I'm so overwhelmed with excitement.
Authentications are back. We are back with authentications.
Why though?
If anyone didn't know before, we offered free authentications, and we had to stop them after a year of
doing them
because we were completely and utterly overwhelmed.
We were inundated like day and night. It was just a lot
It was a lot of admin. So
you explained that previously.
So we decided that we would take a hiatus from authenticating, and I think it's been a month and a half.
It's felt a lot longer.
It's felt like 6 years.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to try and catch up, if you will, with what we'd kind of missed and that kind of thing.
And we're back. So, authentications are back, but they have changed a little bit. Now, we were inundated when we said that we were stopping authentication for a little bit of time of people saying that we should start charging.
To which we've said
most traditional companies do charge and can charge up to £100 per bag.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the service, they give pricing, they give dates, kind of when the item was, kind of made. If it's authentic, if it's a yes or no. There's lots of different tiers. It's not just a case of for example, I think there's multiple apps that you can find which people use predominantly for trainers and sneakers, which are like $2.99 a time. I'm not talking about those apps. That's just like yes or a no. I'm talking about the more informational sites and the people which actually give you information, not just a simple yes or no, which we can also do.
Maybe a date, maybe a designer,
maybe even a
price, a time era, a platform to sell on, whatever. And we did toy with it for a bit, and we went back and forth and back and forth and forth and back and forth. And we've come to the conclusion after a month and a half that authentications from now on will be free.
How much?
Free, no money. We will continue doing free authentications for the community of resellers and beyond. Thrifters, hunters, consumers, anyone who may need an authentication will have an authentication for free.
What will be different this time, Bethany?
There will be some differences. The differences will include, and we will post them over to Instagram, of what is going to be. I'm going to talk through what is going to be required, but there'll be like a visual guide. If you're a visual person, over on Instagram at the Luxury Pickers, there'll be a visual guide so you can know exactly what to send every time. But what was I going to say?
But you were talking about what is actually needed, what is actually what's different, what's changed.
A lot of the time before, when we were receiving requests from people, is that either the photos weren't detailed enough, we needed extra photos, so on and so forth. When we had to request those extra photos, then the request for the authentication went way down, and it got snow piled on, and then it got lost. So to save us all time and make us be able to
answer you quickly,
more efficiently, quickly, all the shebango, we're asking of some things.
We are indeed, and we'll go through those things now. The other point was, one of the reasons we are kind of asking for more kind of, I guess, not only detailed shots but also specific shots, is because sometimes someone would send me a photo, and I'm talking about, it would be like kind of this distance, like as in what you're seeing now here, and it would be one shot and say real or fake, question mark,
or just a label,
and no once item. Again, with all due respect, like there's some things you can tell, don't get me wrong, but 9 times out of 10 we need more photos. And the amount I sent more messages back from people saying, can you send me X, Y and Z, than I actually did yes or no, because you couldn't tell from the original photos. Now, I'm not saying you have to be like the best photographer in the world, but there's certain elements we need to be captured to give you a yes or a no as quick as possible,
and to make it more efficient for you and us and everyone involved. So going forward, all authentications need to go through Instagram. I know this is a pain, but otherwise you get lost.
If you only want to join Instagram, you don't have an Instagram account, if you only join it to get free authentication, then it's worth it.
A lot of people have in the past.
Yeah.
But I know some people send to our email, which previously was fine to a degree, but you then get buried under my work stuff, and you just don't get seen to.
It's not going to get answered, basically.
Facebook, I choose not to use Facebook actively, so everything has to go through Instagram.
Them's the rules, folks.
Through to the DMs. If you don't follow us, or if we don't follow you, you get put into our message requests, or we haven't spoke to you before, you get put into your message requests. And you have to understand, there are so many people being put into message requests.
Yeah.
So the quick and easiest thing is rule number 1. It's not a rule at all. Rules are for losers. Is You have to follow us. Just follow us. Let's get a bit back and forth.
If all we get out of this is for you to follow us, and I know people before have said, cool, I've seen people say, well, we could just follow and then unfollow. Cool, do that. But then you'd have to go to the trouble of when you want another authentication, following me again. It's just long. Just follow it. Mute us if you want to. It is what it is.
So a follow would be appreciated. Tag us if you're active on social media. Then tag us in your stories, or if you mention the product or sell the product, or we give you a price, give us a little tag, just so we can firstly so we can be updated with it, because I'm really nosy and I like to see what things go for, but secondly because it's a nice thing to do, and it might help other people find someone who can authenticate for them.
Also, items, if you posted a picture, for example, and you have X amount of followers, but say in this instance maybe we have a few more, especially with the community how the community works, it's great for those people if we repost you and people can see what you've picked up and what you've managed to get.
Well, it just builds the community.
It's just better for everyone, I think.
It's a rippling effect.
Yeah.
And most importantly, what we are asking is that when you send photos, I need certain requirements. So what we've done is we split it into 3 major food groups.
And that's why this bad boy, just behind us, which we don't usually have whilst talking to you guys, is there.
So, 3 major food groups.
Shoes.
Clothing, shoes,
bags.
Now, accessories, you can abide by the handbags categories. They should fit in. Yeah. Watches and jewellery also, we need a lot more in-depth in watches and jewellery, just because the value is there, and because they are, there's so many different elements to them. And most importantly, which I didn't mention before, and it's just come to mind now, which is sort of like out of kilt, but welcome back to YouTube, Luxury Pickers, is the items have to be luxury. That's it. I'm not
authenticating football boots, I'll be honest. No diss to anyone who does football boots. I don't want to authenticate football boots.
Or high street brands or anything like that. We don't authenticate, so please don't be upset if I just give you we won't authenticate this, or we can't authenticate this. It's not I can't authenticate Levi's, it's that I choose not to. It takes up too much time.
The thing is, the reason we do what we do is, well, obviously you guys know we're the luxury pickers, okay? We specialise and have specialised for years and years and years in high-end luxury. I don't want to take away from me having to deal with 10 pairs of Levi's, because people buy Levi's so often and pick them up so often that if I'm spending time doing 10 or 15 or 20 of those in the course of a week, I may be letting people miss out on maybe Saint Laurent or a Gucci piece or a Tom Ford, whatever it might be. And those things are the things, to be quite frank, they're more money. I would rather people make more money doing that.
Another short thing, I know this sounds like a lot of things, but if it sparks anything with you, then you'll know for future, is we won't price anything that we haven't authenticated. So if you message and say, I got a Prada nylon backpack from 2014, how much should I list it for? I'm not going to give you a price if I haven't seen it.
And not because I'm being, you know what, but I think a lot of people, we've had people say, I know it's real, but I want a price. If you're that good that you know it's real, you'd already know a price. Like, my attitude, I know that's really flippant and rude sounding, and if it is, sorry, but that's how I feel. If you know that piece is authentic, then you can definitely go and find a price somewhere else, and you don't need to bother me with it.
It's really awkward if I said, look, it's £600 and then there's a £600 fake knocking around.
No, I won't do it.
I'm not doing it. No. Anyway, so pictures. So when it comes to bags, then you use mine.
That sounds really abrupt, really. And you know what? I will say this.
Abrupt.
No, yeah, well, I am abrupt. Everyone knows that. But why I say that is, from our point of view, this is something that, like you just said, multiple people we spoke to, and in some ways ourselves, it was something we thought a long time about monetizing, and we've chosen not to. So at least if we're not charging, and it's not a service you have to pay for, there's only a few rules to abide by.
Well, if you took your bag anywhere to any luxury authenticator, they wouldn't authenticate it. They wouldn't price it without seeing it. No, and actually pricing is an additional charge. So.
That's what I was saying earlier.
So when it comes to bags or handbags, this applies to luggage, handbags, holdalls, backpacks, cosmetic pouches, purses, small wallets.
Yeah, SLG, small leathers, anything which would be considered as a bag or a small accessory which is made of any kind of fabric.
I need the front, so I need a full view of the handbag.
Yep.
I don't need a close up. I need a full view of the handbag. I want to see all of it, so I can quickly identify what it is. I want the sides.
That's a beautiful piece, by the way.
I know. I want the sides. I want the 2 sides. I want the bottom.
Yep.
Right. I want the top. for all different reasons. I want as many as possible. Then I put in a category
zips.
for details. Jump in the gun, sir.
Just jump in the gun, that's me.
Details include hardware, buckles.
Give them a close-up. Let the folks at home see what we're talking about.
Hardware.
Yep.
Buckles or like metal work,
Any
which is
eyelets or rivets.
often stamped on some bags.
Yep.
But like on mulberry bags, etc.
A lot of Prada stamped, actually.
Anything that, do you want to talk over me one more time?
Yeah.
Anything that has a stamping on it, anything that has a branding on it, or could, be an identifying feature such as hardware. I will take a close-up of the stitching and the inking. However, I think people get too much caught up on stitching. It does my head in.
Yeah.
But don't just send me pictures of stitching. I'll jump off a cliff.
With nowadays as well, with basic manufacture, stitching is quite easy to replicate. When we're mentioning stitching, most of the time it's because the pieces are handmade. So to do them handmade that perfect, that's the luxury of it.
So we got front, side, back, side, bottom, top, details,
yep.
hardware, stitching, buckles, inking, etc., so on and so forth. I then want an inside picture, which I know is hard, but let's give it a good go.
It's not so hard with a camera. It's harder to show on a camera.
I then want the inner logo stamp, which you can't see right now because of the camera, which is here. The Louis Vuittons have serial numbers, so I also want a picture of the serial number. So I've included that on this chart. So it will say brand, it will say logo, inner logo, details, serial number, all those sorts of things. And I basically, as many pictures as you can manage of one thing. Think of it like an eBay listing. I want your eBay listing.
Yeah. If you're trying to get £1,000 for it and you're putting 12 photos up, or 14 as the case may be, give me those.
And I know sometimes people ask us to authenticate when they're in a thrift, and which is fine, but they're gonna have to take detail pictures when you are shopping, buy it, authenticate it, take it back.
Once again, we're trying to do this so.
I think our faces keep blurring because it's in the background. It's focusing on that, so just ignore.
Should I take it down?
Yeah, take it down.
Okay. How's that?
Oh, look, there we are. If we've been blurry for 12 minutes and 16 seconds, then apologies.
What I was going to say was one of the other reasons as well we want to get these photos is for you guys, so you know exactly, like, anyone who can authenticate maybe in 1 or 2 photos, unless they're like it's a really obvious fake. Some fakes, they're almost so good you need to almost touch them if you really don't know what you're looking at, right? So in that respect, they need to have lots of photos. We're not willing at this point now to put our reputation on the line to say yay or nay just because someone hopes it's real or wants to send one photo. So we need those details so we can come back and say, guys, yes, let's go, let's sell it as much as we can, let's make £1,000.
To be honest, one of the biggest not problems but like situations that we had that led us to stopping and taking a break for a minute is because we had a Louis Vuitton bag which we authenticated as fake and it was listed as real.
Yeah.
And they're not cool, babes.
And I've got those back and forth. So once again, if you are watching, hey, how are you?
The listing actually also has not pictures that are equated to the bag. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Right. So next up is clothing. Clothing is one of the things we get obviously asked for most. This isn't a haul. You don't have to show them close up.
I'm showing the label. Right. I got excited, guys.
So Austin, hold it up for me. So I want front. I want the picture of the whole garment, all of it. I want to see what it is, okay? I want the back. The whole back. All of it. I mean, this looks like it's only half the back, but I want the whole of the back, right? Then I want the inside tag. I want the label, the logo tag, if you will.
And any associated stitching in the picture. So don't kind of just give like the kind of just a, you know what I mean? A close-up.
Clear, good quality pictures like you would for a listing. I then want the inside label tag. In this case, we've got the inside wash label tag and we've also got a sizing tag. Any inside tags at all, they're in the garment.
Also, every single
one of them
side. Because
a lot of counterfeit companies will just do one, or they'll do way too many.
Or they'll add some kind of madness in the actual
then I want
language.
Details. Now, like logos, buttons and things aren't make or break or in authenticating depending on the age. But if there is logo buttons, I want to see them, especially Chanel, Versace, Hermes, and then any details. So details would be qualified as buttons, any different kind of stitching. In this case, there isn't any. This is new tag. That would count as a detail. I take the tag. one of the most highly faked things are these bad boys. The tag, and then if there's a SKU number, sizing system, I want to see that as well.
Of course.
So that's fine with this piece.
It is indeed.
So front, back, details, inner wash tag, inner size tag, main logo tag, and any additionals like hang tags, etc., so on and so forth.
And this is a great example. Just while we've got this, I want to show you this. This is a brand new shirt. This was a brand new. This was actually purchased from Gucci by me.
Oh, I was working
when you were working there. There's everything you need to know there. The whole tag is there. Once again, it was bought in store. There's just no question about where this came from. Okay. There's also a spare button, and once again, like a lot of fakes don't actually come with a spare button, but some do. So don't. But this, for example, I've seen better wash tags on this. You can see kind of the print. I've seen better wash tags on fakes. So once again, when people say, "Oh, the wash tags are good" or "they're bad," honestly, it's item to item. When you got to remember when the guys who are faking these, or girls, are trying to get kind of the best looking quality ever, Gucci, as much as they're high end, their real interest isn't the wash tag. As much as it will be pretty much perfect as regards the actual font and what it says on there, the print, it's not really. They're thinking about this. They're thinking about this. They're thinking about the things you can see. Whereas somebody who's faking is trying to look for all the details. And once again, item to item, it totally changes.
Over detail.
Yes, exactly that.
And then shoes.
I'm going to take that back down because it did mess with our
shoes.
views.
I want it very much like Vestiaire vibes, right? So I want the whole shoe.
Nothing but the shoe.
I want the toe box of the shoe. I want the soles. I want any logoing or sizing that is on the sole. I then want the inside branding, and then if there's an inside size, I want that too, because I know Prada and Gucci inside size as well. Yep. For example. So, and the back as well, please. So as many pictures as you can possibly muster of these things. If you need any help, once again, I do have done the
there's the grid is over on Instagram. We'll keep that in our stories.
It'll be on I'm going to put it on stories first, and then it will be in
grid post
form. So as detailed as possible. I know previously, like, people have sent us the inside of a Louboutin and said, "Is it real?" Like, I don't even know if they, like, sometimes it's very easy. I know it sounds really silly, but sometimes especially with certain brands, like if you throw a Mulberry handbag at me, I can literally say they didn't make it. Yeah. I didn't even need to look inside.
But a great example would be as you just had here. Okay, this is just a quick one for you. Once again, like, this bag is a smaller bag, so these things are very close to each other. But if I were to give you a real close up of this canvas, 9 times out of 10, the high end quality canvas is almost identical to this in print. It's everything else which you can kind of pick up on, because that's really easy to replicate. The fabric's not, the feel of it's not, but the look of it from a photograph is. So it might look very similar. So what I'm trying to say is it's important that we get everything about everything.
So, in synopsis, free authentications are officially back over at the Luxury Pickers on Instagram. Free authentications are free authentications for anyone who may need them. Thrifters, hunters, collectors, resellers, anyone. If your mum wants one, it's totes cool. Send her over.
How is she?
Yeah, how is she? Free of charge, obviously, completely free of charge.
You've said that, I think. You mentioned that.
All we do is ask that you give us a little follow on Instagram. Watch some of our videos, enjoy our content. Like, that's as helpful as we need. That's as much as we need back. Does that make sense?
At this point in time, I'll be honest, once again, like, this is right now, this is what we're talking about today, and I'm not saying tomorrow that will change, but I'm saying eventually, who knows, if there's such a demand that we physically can no longer kind of cope with it, maybe we'll be charged in the future. What I'm saying is right now, as of for now, it's totally free. We're not going anywhere, and all we need from you is to kind of hit all those spots as regards what photos we need, and we can give you a proper answer as quick as we can. We're also hoping, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is kind of a challenge, just throwing it out there, I guess. We're also hoping that for a lot of the people who just, to be quite frank, who send us in authentications and can't be you-know-whatted most of the time, and send a picture saying real or fake, it might stop those people. Because if you bother to take those photos and bother to send time to actually send them across to us, it means, one, you want to know for sure, but two, they kind of, it's worth you doing. That's what I'm trying to get across. You understand? Does that make sense?
Coolios. Yeah?
I'm good. Are you
And
good?
for anyone who actually just like really enjoys our content, we have been a bit AWOL. We've been a bit here. We've been a bit there. We've been a bit
Missing action.
everywhere. MIA. We are obsessed with Poshmark. So we are running live shows every
Week?
Saturday. So our next live show is tomorrow. We are doing a...
Give me the date, though, because you said tomorrow. We said tomorrow last time, and everyone was like, I'm going to come and see it tomorrow.
24th of June, 2023, at 8 p.m. on Poshmark. If you haven't joined Poshmark on Work Ready, our code's down below, and you can get £5 credit, which you can spend in a show, or you can spend on...
Speaking of which, our auctions start at £5. Everything starts at £5. So who knows? You might just join and get a free item from us. Who knows?
Tomorrow is Y2K vintage themed, and it is also a share show. So what that means, for anyone who doesn't know, we'll probably do a video on it later today, is that if you are not an ambassador and you can't do a live show, or you don't want to do a live show at the moment,
You have no interest in your live show.
you can share your item to our live show and we can sell it for you, and hopefully it will go for a really good price. We only ask tomorrow on the 24th of June 2023 that it is Y2K
Is it within the vibe?
vintage vibes. Okay.
Have we got anything else to announce? We actually have another video coming tomorrow for you. Tomorrow.
Yes.
You're not scared then? Why did you stop me in my
I just
tracks?
messing with you.
Okay, you don't do that because I'm living on the edge constantly. You know how I roll.
This is becoming an update video. And then on the 29th of June, we are in Shoreditch,
What were you there for, Bethany?
We are there for the POSHMARK, where you'll be able to do live shows all day, thrift some items.
There's kind of workshops.
Probably have a boogie at some point.
What now?
A boogie.
Say what now? There are loads of people from not only the Poshmark community, but the community in general, kind of joining daily, and apparently they're going to be part of it. I say apparently, they're going to be part of it. What am I talking about? So it's going to be a wicked event.
We're also speaking there.
Oh, we did mention that, yeah. Well, I think they quoted us as fireside chats with
fireside interviews with
Bethany Austin, the luxury pickers. There's also other great speakers. There's Pete and Lola, Charlie Pete. There is
Michelle from Fox Black UK.
Yes, I've been thinking of a posh name. Apologies, Michelle, if you're watching. We're terrible with names.
Anyway,
go and follow those people anyway if you don't already.
And we got massive summer plans. Massive.
I almost thought you were going to let the proverbial cat from the bag.
We've been working on a few little shimmies.
Everyone says that. Don't say that.
Screen.
Don't
no,
say
actual
that.
shimmies though.
Yeah, but don't say that.
These are shimmies.
Everyone said that. Then nothing happens. It's like, whoa, what was that about?
I didn't say it was for anyone else. I just said we were in doing some shimmies.
Never mind these guys.
Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, and then we'll be back the next day, and we're hopefully going to be back now consistently in your lives, like that ex that won't leave.
What an end quote.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.